Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's the Natch, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Good morning, people out there across the universe. How you doing? You're listening to the ProBoh Show at 8:30 Central European Time, 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. for our friends in Hong Kong and the Philippines. Eugene is in the chat. He's in Russia, and it's 11:30. How are you doing out there, folks? Wow, what a show we have prepared for you today. As always, I thoroughly tortured the elves this morning, and they prepared, wow, just the best show. In today's 100 Humans, I asked them what they hate about the fall. Or otoño, autumn, right? Nombra algo que la mayoría de la gente odia or odie del otoño. Then in Complete the News, we'll find out what was found dead. Or who was found dead on the front lawn of a Florida home. Yeah, interesting stuff. And today's unpopular opinion, guys, it's a good one today. We're going to do some real back and forth of this one. I can tell. It is that AI should and could replace human politicians. La inteligencia artificial podría y debería sustituir a los políticos humanos. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is going to be a good discussion. This is something I may spin out into something else. So let's consider today's show a little practice session research for that. Elf spanking Rob, really, says the bridge. Born to Iron Man's here, Vero's here, the bridge is here, Eugene is here, Decoy is here. Guys, if you want to be as cool as our live audience today, all you have to do is go to twitch.tv/professional bohemian. That's Bohemio Profesional, pero en inglés. So easy. Tell you what, guys. I'm here. You're here. Natch is here. Let's see what's going on in the world. Okay, some news, Natch. Oh, man. Well, let's start off with some light-hearted news. I think if anyone's paying attention to the news right now, it's quite depressing. Some light-hearted news. Do you know anything about the Amish community, Natch?
No.
But you know what Amish people are, right? You know they're...
Yes.
You've seen the movie Witness with Harrison Ford or something.
No, but I
don't
know who they are.
Yeah, they're kind of they're kind of against technology in some way. They're kind of Luddites in that respect. You know, it's a religious movement, you would call it. Los Amish men. Okay. And do you remember when we got an alert? Natch, do you remember when everyone in Madrid got an alert about the weather and it caused more heart attacks than damage by the flood? Well, you know, that happened in the United States. I think they were testing their emergency alert system. And yeah, in the States, a ton of people all got an alert. Here we go. Here's a piece of news. Now I've given you some background. Amish men, you're going to love this. Amish men shunned after a nationwide emergency alert outs them for having mobile phones. Los Amish rechazados, shunned. It means when they're invited to leave the community because they've broken the rules. So los Amish rechazados tras una alerta de emergencia nacional por tener teléfono. Yeah, nah, they're there on Tinder. My favourite hobbies, you know, farming, riding around on my cart, and playing on Tinder. Let's see. Members of the Amish community in Ohio faced ostracization. Wow, what a word. Basically means they were outed, they were shunned, rechazados, faced ostracization by their church after a nationwide emergency alert system revealed that they possessed prohibited mobile phones. Imagine they sat there around dinner, Natch, or in church or whatever the Amish do. Just sat there quietly. Zzz, zzz, zzz. The US government's emergency alert drill on October 4th inadvertently exposed these individuals when their phones, which were on vibrate, sounded the alert. Eli Yoda, wow. There is, do or do not possess a mobile phone. Eli Yoda, an ex-Amish practitioner member, shared on TikTok how 3 of his friends were shunned from the community. Shunning is a practice in Amish culture where people who violate rules are isolated from the community and their activities. And they were shunned because, of obviously this emergency alert system revealed that they had mobile phones. That makes me happy. Angry birds, angry Amish. There you go. Okay, next. Okay. You know, we've spoken about climate change quite a lot on the show, Natch. And I think the frustrating thing among people who really care about this issue is the fact that it's hard to have people invest intellectually, invest emotionally in the issue because have you heard the analogy before, guys out there, and you, Natch? Have you heard the analogy before of the frog in the water and they slowly turn up the heat and the frog doesn't notice until it's too late? However, if you were to jump in the boiling water immediately, you'd notice. The frog would notice and probably jump out. So it's hard to have people when things move so periodically, so slowly. It's hard to have them invest in the climate crisis. There is one publication that I think is trying to do that. It's The Guardian. Climate crisis. Oh, Natch, try not to get upset or triggered here. The climate crisis will make Europe's beer cost more and taste worse. Natch, stop. He's just throwing furniture in there. It's going crazy. Chill, man. Yeah, true story. The climate crisis will make Europe's beer cost more and taste worse. Scientists have warned that the ongoing climate crisis is impacting the taste and quality of beer. The study reveals that global warming is affecting the quality and quantity of hops, a primary ingredient in most beers. As a consequence, beer could become pricier, more expensive, más caro, or más cara. How would you say that now? Is it masculine, feminine?
Cerveza más cara.
Más cara. Oh, dude. See? I got it wrong the first time, but then I auto-corrected. I'm not saying I deserve an evil eye thought, even though I do. There you go, Natch. Thank you. You know, it's driving people crazy. The fact that you occasionally give me the odd evil eye thought. Dude, don't argue with Natch's methods. You know, he's been listening to one of the best teachers in the country for almost 20 years. You know, so if he decides to give me an evil eye thought, I've earned it. That's the final word. So as a consequence, beer could become more expensive and brewers might need to modify their brewing techniques. By 2050, if no adaptive measures are taken, hop yields in European regions are projected to decrease by 4 to 18%. And the alpha acids content responsible for the beer's unique taste and aroma could decline by 20 to 31%. It's a dark day, guys. I just see a lot of Europeans now immediately going to the bin to do the recycling. Good. Protect the beer, friends. Protect the beer. Let's see what the chat is saying. They use carts. I was thinking the other day. Yes, they do use carts. If you're talking about the Amish, yeah, they do. Born to Iron Man, politicians are irreplaceable. They're completely pride in person. Yeah. I kind of agree with that statement. We're going to dig into that in a second. Next, let's take a quick look in the world of AI. Obviously, AI, we're going to talk a little bit more about it in today's unpopular opinion. But there are, for all the companies that are investing in AI, a lot of the big companies, Microsoft, Google, even Adobe, doubling down on their AI offerings in their Adobe Max event. I think that was held yesterday. Big tech companies or the big tech industry are doubling down. They're investing large amounts. But according to a report by the Wall Street Journal, AI is not profitable, which is worrying because some people out there are already paying for certain services, and they may just get more and more expensive. So here we go. So AI hasn't been profitable for big tech. This article coming from ARS Technica. Big tech companies, including Microsoft and Google, are struggling to make their AI products profitable, as reported by the Wall Street Journal. While there's significant investment in AI technologies capable of generating business memos or code, the operational costs of running advanced AI models are high. For instance, Microsoft's GitHub Copilot. GitHub is a repository for code and programs in their infancy, which aids developers by generating code, operates at a loss. Each user is charged a flat fee of $10 a month, but the actual cost to Microsoft surpasses $20 per month. Yeah, this is because the processing chips, the VRAM they call it, the video RAM, it consumes a lot of power. A lot of power. I read somewhere, and it might have even been in this article, that each request made to an AI system costs around 4 cents. And you might be thinking, well, that's not too much. But I mean, think about how many requests are made to AI daily. You know, not everybody is lucky enough to have caught elves like I do. An elf food, friends, very cheap. It's very cheap. But yeah, not just the electricity consumption of the chips and the hardware itself. Think about cooling. You have to keep these systems cool so they'll run properly. So yeah, apparently this example of Microsoft GitHub Copilot is just one example of many where the big tech companies are losing money on their AI offerings. Worrying stuff, because AI could be the great equalizer. On that note, friends, let's go to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
What even is an unpopular opinion? It's a brain fart, friends. Es un pedo cerebral. I share it with you on my social media, namely my Instagram. And you guys vote there, but the real decision makers are our live audience, joining us on twitch.tv/professional bohemian. Today's unpopular opinion is that AI, or artificial intelligence, could and should replace human politicians. La inteligencia artificial podría y debería sustituir a los políticos humanos. It's let's talk about this, shall we? I released a poll on Instagram. Can you guess how people voted, Natch?
Yes, true.
By a lot, by a little?
By a lot.
Funnily enough, it was only 62%, which is, a fair margin. It's a fair margin, but 62% true. 62% of people agreed with this. In a second, we're going to go over some pros and cons and arguments which may reflect why this isn't as clear-cut of an issue. This is coming, by the way, from yesterday's show, or something where I mentioned this. I got a message saying, oh, that would be a good unpopular opinion, and here we are talking about it. What do you think, Natch?
In theory, it would be the perfect solution. In the real world, I guess there will be someone behind the AI that will control everything. But I don't know. In theory, for me, and I think a lot of people are tired of our politicians and our government systems.
Yeah.
We need a change.
We need a change. And Uncle Rob has the answer. Politician GPT. Let's look at it now. So I thoroughly tortured the elves this morning. They gave me their pro and con arguments, 4 of each. Let's dig into this. Okay, so objective decision making. This is an argument in favor of replacing human politicians with artificial intelligence. So objective decision making. AI could make decisions based on data, logic, and algorithms rather than emotion and personal biases. Think about that. Think about that. The human machine is flawed. We've covered cognitive bias a lot on this show, but let's continue. Or political considerations, potentially resulting in more fair and consistent decisions. So imagine a politician that worked basically on data, logic, and algorithms rather than emotions, personal biases, and political considerations. I can't do that. My constituents... We can't give the American citizens public health care, Natch. The rest of my party will call it socialism, and they'll kick me out. Even though it is a fundamental human right to have access to good quality, cheap or free healthcare. An AI politician may not make that decision. Let's continue. Efficiency. AI systems can process vast amounts of data quickly, leading to faster decision-making and problem-solving. Transparency. If designed correctly, AI systems can provide clear reasoning for decisions, and algorithms could be made transparent. Although, a lot of the new AI models are open source. You can actually go and see the code, download them to your computer, and use them in your home PC. There are certain proprietary algorithms, but we can get into that later if you like. Okay, next. And this is a big one, friends. This is the real issue, I think. Reduced corruption. Machines don't have personal interests. They don't have financial incentives or ambitions in the same way that humans do. So they don't experience, they don't have those personal interests. They have no horse in the race. They don't have financial incentives or ambitions. They're not using politics as a stepping stone to the board of directors of an energy or pharmaceutical company. They have one job and they do it. That's what programs do. And this might reduce, or probably would reduce, opportunities for bribery and corruption. Next, the con arguments. Arguing against the fact that AI should replace human politicians. Let's get into this. And I may editorialize between these points. I reserve my right to do so. It's a good one today. Okay, here we go. Lack of human judgment. Decisions in politics often require empathy, moral reasoning, and understanding of cultural nuances, which AI lacks. The argument here is saying that artificial intelligence lacks the ability, no tiene la habilidad. It doesn't have the ability to empathize or use moral sensibilities or understands cultural nuances enough to make these decisions. Here's my argument, guys. Do human politicians? Hello? Do human? Do you remember Brexit, guys? You remember Brexit currently impoverishing the UK? Do you know what Nigel Farage did after Brexit? After he won the Brexit vote, Natch? Got himself a German passport. So that argument for me doesn't hold any water. Next. Unemployment and displacement. Such a drastic change would lead to job losses in the political sector and related industry. Can I tell you something, folks? Wouldn't it be a refreshing change that politicians experience life like the rest of us? Welcome to the unemployment line, friends. Yeah. And can we be honest right now? Artificial intelligence and technology has put people out of work for centuries. Yeah, centuries. You know, those car manufacturing lines you saw with people building pieces of engines and things, each person with their own speciality. Those guys were all put out of work by robots. It's politicians' turn, maybe. Next con point. And yeah, again, I'm going to editorialize. I don't care. Manipulation and bias. Okay, here we go. This is an important one. I think this is the one that really worries people. Who's the man behind the curtain? Right, Natch? Who's the person who's in control of these AI systems? Here we go. So manipulation and bias. AI systems can be manipulated by those who design or feed data to them. There's also a risk of inherent biases in AI due to biased training. Are we going to pretend that our politicians aren't biased? Are we going to pretend that they don't hold any cognitive biases because of their, political party or because of financial interests? Are we going to pretend? Is that what we're pretending to do now? Or are we going to be a little bit more realistic? At least we would know who programs the AI. Do you know who's paying your politicians? Do you? I don't. Let's continue. Final con point, arguing against replacing human politicians with AI. A loss of representation. Politics isn't just about decision-making, friends. Politics isn't just about decision-making. It's about representing the diverse interests, needs, and values of human populations. AI wouldn't have lived experiences or emotional connections, or wouldn't have experiences or emotional connections to its constituents. The net worth of most politicians is inaccessible to most people, friends. I'm just going to tell you right now. A lack of representation. These millionaires that represent us, do they really understand what it is to be you, myself, Natch? Do they? Do you feel represented right now in government? Do you? I don't. Do you, Natch? Do you feel represented by your government?
Absolutely not.
No. So why is it that humans, rich humans, can govern the country that they don't represent us? They don't understand what it's like to be out of work, to struggle feeding your family, to make a choice between, do I go on vacation this year or do I put some money away for a rainy day? Where do I save it? All these considerations. Why is my shopping bill? They don't understand what it is to be you and I. At least AI would make decisions coldly and with our best interests supposedly in mind. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Let's see what the chat is saying. The Bridge says, the great equalizer would be a breakthrough in free universal power. That's true. That would be a great equalizer. Free power? Come on. Vero says, true. I don't like it very much. I'm sure AI can solve current society's real problems. Yeah. Guys, if you want to get involved in this debate, you can do so. Twitch.tv/professional bohemian. Let's continue. Of course it should, says Eugene, especially in my country, Russia. Maybe then we'll be less foolish or fools in power. There will be less fools in power in my country. Eugene, whereas it's a little more evident on the world stage, what's happening in Russia, believe me, all over the world, we have people who don't represent us, representing us, pretending to represent us, using political office as a stepping stone to for other business interests. Wouldn't it be nice to just have a program running in the background? Politician AI. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. But what I think really, friends, it doesn't matter. What really matters is what you think. Our friends in our live audience, if you're here joining me now live on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, you're going to tell me, should we replace politicians with artificial intelligence? Interesting debate, guys. We're going to come back to more of this after the break. Let me tell you something, friends. So many things you could have been doing today, an infinite number of things. But instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the absolute world. See you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. How you doing? You're listening to the ProBoh Show live at 9 a.m. Central European Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. for our friends in the Philippines and Hong Kong. How you doing out there, folks? Oh my God, what a show we are having. Controversial issues we're talking about today in our unpopular opinion, but we're going to continue in a second. What did we look at in the news? A really funny story about how some Amish men, members of the Amish community, Los Amish, I think you say it right in Spanish. Right? Yeah, Los Amish. So,
Nivelazo.
Dude, that's the exact same. Yeah, no, I approve, Natch. I approve. You should nivelazo me whenever the word is exactly the same and I know it. It's essential knowledge. Amish men shunned after a nationwide emergency alert revealed that they had mobile phones. I just love that. There's something so beautiful about that to me. Next, we took a look at how the climate crisis will make Europe's beer cost more and taste worse. Bwah, bwah, bwah. Then we moved on to the big tech companies and their investment in AI and how right now none of them are really making a profit. Costs more for them to use than they are charging or than they're capable of charging. At some point, all these products and services that we are using are going to become a lot more expensive. So, enjoy them while you can, I guess. All right, and then, friends, we moved on to today's controversial but important topic, which was AI should replace human politicians, or, well, AI could and should replace human politicians. And we've had a hell of a debate. We looked at some pro and con arguments, and right now we're gonna dive into the chat and see what people are saying. Okay. Ooh, the poll has finished. Interesting, Natch. Ooh, the poll is done. Okay, let's see what people are saying. Read that one, and we're on decoy. They're emotionless and cold-hearted politicians, he's saying. Are emotionless and cold-hearted. So are the machines. Which one's cheaper? The machines. The machines are cheaper. Here in Spain, don't politicians get a lifetime salary? Natch, is that true?
Some of them, yes.
Jeez Louise. You know, the American presidents are, they can have a security detail for most of their lives. It's just, politician GPT. Come on. Decoy says, you're right. Bridge, it's more of a bureaucratic administrative job. That's in response to the Bridge, who says, politics and emotions don't mix well. No, quite often, I think one of the problems with modern politics is exactly that.
Si estás pensando en comprar...
What was that? Someone there in the background. one of the 100 humans, guys. Just chatting Natch. Go away, 100 humans. Yeah, okay, where was I? Politicians and emotions don't mix well. And Decoy agrees with that. And I think that's one of the problems with modern politics. I think populist politics is almost designed to create outrage. And then when you have echo chambers like our modern media, it creates outrage in the people. We shouldn't be hearing politicians shouting at each other. It should be about what decisions can create a wealthier, more prosperous, healthier population. That, friends, is why we vote people into power. Yet they have us here arguing about gender identity and things that to your everyday, person don't matter. They have us arguing about pronouns. I'm outraged. I'm not outraged. And whereas most people who are outraged by the pronoun thing, in everyday communication, if someone said, I'm a they, them, they would use it just out of politeness. But they like to fabricate controversy in order to maintain the interest of what they believe are our easily manipulated constituents. But I think more and more there's a rising tide of people who have had enough. And I think, friends, politician GPT might just be the way forward. Let's continue moving on. As you know, our friend in the chat here, Eugene, is from Russia. Vero says lots of love and strength. And Eugene responds with a big thank you. The bridge says, Rob for president. As does Vero. No, politician GPT for president. Much better. Got the perfect solution, said the bridge. Political GPT programmed and set up by Rob. The elf. Whip it natch. Yeah, I know, the elves are too precious. The elves need to prepare the show every day. Yeah, so there we go. That's what the chat is saying. I also got some messages on Instagram. Let's dig into those a little bit. A few people not as decisive as our people here in the chat. Liliana says, it sounds like a dystopian novel to me. The idea of having AI replace politicians. It sounds like a dystopian novel to me. Yeah, okay. She continues, politics isn't just about efficiency. It's about heart and soul of a community. I agree. That's exactly why I want to take the humans out of it. Me parece una novela distópica. That's exactly it. Yeah, I agree. It should be about heart and soul of a community. So where is that heart and soul? You know, I completely agree with you. That is exactly why I think we should be replacing politicians. Darnell says, this idea is a double-edged sword. Do you say spada de doble fila or something like that?
De doble filo.
Filo. Oh, close. I was close. While AI can crunch numbers faster and avoid scandals, can it truly understand the diverse need of humans? Darnell, my response to that is looking for a solution to human problems and understanding them. I think it can. I think it can understand what. Yeah, I think it can understand, and I think it'd be motivated if it's unique, if its purpose was to create a prosperous, healthy society. That's what programs do. They don't. You know, there's no kind of white noise from the political left or right. Could it understand? Well, it probably doesn't live in those communities where these problems are happening, right? But neither do your politicians, Darnell. These communities that are in trouble have been in trouble for many, 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 many years. Isn't it time maybe to try something new? Alex says, man, I think it's possible for AI. I think it's possible for AI to make unbiased, data-driven decisions that politicians sometimes overlook, but replace, maybe not entirely. Combine? I think the human element is the problem here, Alex. I really do. I think the human element is the problem. I think an unbiased, unmotivated by political kind of agendas, just a purely resource-based decision-making language model. Politician GPT. Have you ever heard of Auto GPT, Natch?
No.
Okay, so it's a fascinating little bit of technology. And what it does, right, is it allows two ChatGPT or other AI agents to communicate with each other. Okay? They've found that if you give a large language model a task and it has the ability to communicate with other AI agents, it's capable of producing infinitely better results. They made games developer where they create an AI agent for the coding, an AI agent for the marketing, an AI agent for the CEO, the CTO, a whole workforce of AI agents, and the results were extraordinary. Imagine you vote politician GPT as the I don't know, the mayor of Madrid, and that is communicating directly with politician GPTs or politician AI in Barcelona to make productive decisions to the benefit of the most people possible, away from scandals or personal interests. Are you not sick of hearing embarrassing stories about politicians? But they won't communicate with heart. I'm sorry, Donald Trump just said that windmills cause cancer, and Joe Biden doesn't know how to climb downstairs. Are you really being serious? Like, at least judge AI by the apparent scrutiny we hold human politicians, no? I'm all for it, Rob, says the bridge. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I just think, okay, some final thoughts. I understand how people are worried. It just seems to me that when I proposed this idea, and it's been something that's floated around my head a lot, that's why I mentioned it yesterday, and when someone messaged me regarding the idea, you know, I couldn't resist doing it as an unpopular opinion. Every argument against this, for me, just seems like more of a motivation to go ahead and try. You know, AI doesn't understand what it is to be a human living in our situations, our current situations with high cost of living. No, neither do your politicians. You know, you think Isabel Ayuso is struggling to pay for her shopping weekly? You think she's struggling to feed a family? Do you think she's looking for the cheapest hotels to take a little break with her family and friends? Do you think Boris Johnson or Rishi Sunak is concerned about how much he spends on his weekly shop? Do you think Joe Biden or Donald Trump, you know, do you think they worry about paying their electricity bill? Do you think they're considering visiting a food bank? I don't think so. I don't think so. So if we don't hold human politicians to that benchmark, we certainly shouldn't be holding AI politicians to it. Do you know what I mean? Imagine a world where there were no political scandals, where an AI model directed, or several AI models, maybe in the future, instead of voting for humans, we'll be voting between differently trained AI models, trained on ethics, foreign policy, history. You know, from the Socratic method to, we can be an active part in training these things. You know, or you can have another American president that seems to only care about creating inventive nicknames for his opposition. I mean, if that's where you want to go, if that's what the benefit is of having human politicians, then albeit, go for it. But I prefer something a little more humane, and it seems to me the most humane thing to do is take humans out of that equation. If, they can't relate to us, and they never will. You know? Imagine having a politician, albeit AI, that used the platform solely for the benefit of us, rather than as a job application to be put in the board of directors of Pfizer. Imagine that. Imagine that. A politician that didn't kowtow to energy companies, pharmaceutical industry. Imagine that. Because it could happen. The technology already exists. So, I made the statement, friends, that artificial intelligence could and should replace human politicians. La inteligencia artificial podría y debería sustituir a los políticos humanos. You guys said 100% true. Well done, friends. I think we did it. I think we're changing the world one politician at a time. So, look, if you want to share clips from this show, you go ahead and do it. Share it to Sam Altman. Share it wherever the hell you want. Let's make some change, friends. Let's make some change. All right. On that note, my friends, let's move on to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God, it was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And I encountered 100 humans. I asked them all a question. Today's question is, name something most people hate about the fall. The fall, or, our autumn. Nombra algo que la mayoría de la gente odie del otoño. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I'm in possession of the top 7 answers right here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. As always, we go to the one and only Oracle. Natch, what do you think? What is something that people hate about the fall?
Well, the end of the vacation, or have to go back to
Ooh,
work?
the end of the summer. What did you say at the end there? That you have to go back?
Go back to work. Yeah.
Or go back to work, or if you're younger,
Or to school.
or going back to school, Natch, there it is. So going back to work or school, well done. It's there. It is the 5th most popular answer with 6 of 100 humans saying they hate, the thing they hate the most about the autumn, going back to school, going back to work. All right, Eugene is here, and Eugene says rain. Oh, rain, lluvia, again. Is rain there? Yes, it is, friends. Well done. Can I just say, the chat is on fire today. They're doing amazing work. So, lluvia, rain, it's there. It's the 4th most popular answer with 7 of 100 humans. All right, let's continue. Cold. The cold weather. Is cold weather there? Yes, it is, guys. Come on. It's the 2nd most popular answer with 24 of the 100 humans saying they hate the cold weather. Okay, fewer daytime hours, says the bridge. Fewer daytime hours. Is fewer daytime hours there? I guess another way to say that would be it gets dark earlier. And it's there. Well done, bridge. It's the 7th most popular answer with 4 of 100 humans saying, ugh, the thing I hate the most about the autumn, or autumn, is it gets dark so quickly. Dude, in England, I remember when I was working in England, I'd go to work at 9, it'd be dark. The whole day would pass. You leave at 5 and it's dark. Yeah. It's horrible. It's like being a mole person. Mole, topo, by the way. All right, let's continue. Windy, rainy days. We've had that one. Decoy says, falling leaves making the sidewalk slippy. Falling leaves. You know, that's a big point. And you know what? Because our 100 humans live, you know, in river valleys and on top of mountains, maybe they may agree with you. What do you do to collect these leaves? You rake them. So is raking leaves there? Yes, it is. Well done. Oh, it's actually the number 1 answer. Urs says the clocks change. The clocks change. It's a good answer, but it's not there. Oh. Okay, you're missing 2. You're missing 2. One of them, yeah, I'm not sure if this reply applies really to autumn, but you know, if you have this, you typically will sneeze. You know, you'll typically cough a lot. What do you think it is, Natch?
Allergies.
Allergies, well done, alergias. You know, I gave you that clue, Natch, and I thought you were going to say gripe or something like that, and I was ready to steer you where I needed you. Allergies, well done, my dude. Okay, there's one more to get. Every year, they do this earlier and earlier, and it's immensely frustrating. With such a simple clue, is anyone capable of guessing this? Do you think you know, Natch? I see you nodding. Go on, tell me.
Christmas is coming.
Christmas decorations! Natch is on fire! PJB got it too. He said holiday displays. Eventually, they'll just take the Christmas decorations down for a month. You know what I mean? But it's true, yeah. Every year it gets earlier and earlier, the Christmas decorations. Oh my God, friends, well done. So I asked 100 humans to name something they hate about the fall. In position number 7, we had that it gets dark earlier. It gets dark earlier. Oscurece, I think you said right, to get dark. In position number 6, Decoración Navideña. Every year it comes earlier and earlier. And kind of, I swear, Natch, end of October we're going to start seeing the first Christmas decorations. Oh. In position number 5, we had school starting. Inicio de clases. In position number 4, we had rain, lluvia. In position number 3, allergies, alergias. In position number 2, cold weather, tiempo frío. Cold weather. And finally, when I asked 100 humans, who said this, by the way? Who was it? Okay, decoy. Well done, decoy. In position number 1, we had raking leaves. Well done. Jeez, how did you guys get so clever? Because you're not worrying about politics because politician AI is taking over. All right, let's move on to today's Complete the News.
Complete the news.
Oh, what a show, guys. I'm having a great time. We've only got another 5 minutes left, sadly, but just enough time to complete the news. So how does this work? Very simple, friends. I give you a news headline, un titular, but I'm going to leave out some important information. If you're one of the many people watching live but are not participating, perhaps you feel nervous about, offering an opinion to the public. I understand. But this, my friends, is your moment, because all you have to write is A, B, or C. In fact, I encourage you only to write that so there are no spoilers. So here we go. This is a good one. A dead blank found on the front lawn of a Florida home. Lawn es el césped, el parte de césped. Dead blank found on the front lawn of a Florida home. We're back in Florida, folks. But dead what? Encuentran un blanc muerto or muerta en una casa de Florida. Okay, but what was it they found? Is it A, alligators? Caimanes, I think you said, right? Is it B, a congressman? Oh, quite apt for today's show. Politician, a congressman. Or is it C, a skydiver? I don't know how to say that in Spanish. Paracaidista or something like that. Oh, Natch, go on, toma. All right. Congressman, congresista, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, too. Oh, my God. You boys on fire. By the way, guys, there will be a show tomorrow and Thursday. It just won't be on the radio. Tomorrow and Friday, it just won't be on the radio. We're going to do it in the home studio. I'll miss you, Natch. I'll miss you. So what is it? A, B, or C? Dead blank found on the front lawn of a Florida home. Is it A, alligators, caimanes? B, congressman, congresista? Or C, skydiver, paracaidista? A is too obvious. I'll go with C, says the Koye. It seems to be a lot of people answering. What do you think, Natch?
C.
You think C, a skydiver? That would be kind of gross, wouldn't it? Imagine the mess. You know what? Everyone in the chat seems to agree, Natch. All right, so here we go. Something was found on the front lawn of a Florida home. It was C, a dead skydiver. Oh my God. Imagine that. Alicia, no, sorry. Let's dig into this. This is by CBS News. A dead skydiver found on the front lawn of a Florida home. Hang on 1 second, sorry. Detectives are investigating after a skydiver was found dead in the front yard of a residence near Air Park, Florida. A man outfitted in a parachute attire and gear was located just before 12:30 p.m. on the lawn of a home in Titusville, about 50 miles from Orlando. There you go, friends. Be careful when you're skydiving out there. It can get dangerous. Gee, imagine waking up in the morning and finding that. Has someone fallen asleep on my lawn? Dear. Better that than alligators, though, right? Oh my God, what a show we've had today, guys. So much fun. We've spoken about everything from how much AI is costing big tech companies to beer and its impact, or the impact that the climate crisis will have on it. We spoke about how Amish men were ousted from their community after it being discovered that they were hiding mobile phones. Most importantly, we did a little deep dive into a fascinating subject of whether AI should replace human politicians to, get rid of those cognitive biases that we humans are cursed with. It was a fascinating show, guys. Thank you so much for taking part in the best part of my day, every day. So many things you could have been doing today. Instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the absolute world. See you tomorrow.